One might think these youths were on a school trip if it weren't for the Border Patrol trucks flanking them. Their destination was less than 100 meters away, but we weren't allowed to film it.
So you guys have to get out of here. This is a construction zone. You guys have to move.
It was clear where they were headed, an outdoor holding facility under a bridge. Last week, the media was allowed to photograph the migrants, held behind fences and razor wire under the bridge that leads from U.S Mexico to El Paso, Texas.
Thank you for being here for an update on what we're seeing here at the border.
The migrants were the backdrop of a press conference by the Commissioner of Customs and Border Protection.
CBP is facing an unprecedented humanitarian and border security crisis all along our southwest border, and nowhere has that crisis manifested more acutely than here in El Paso.
Border Patrol agents, he said, are apprehending about 570 migrants a day in El Paso, up from about 100 a day 5 months ago. This, he said, reflects a national surge this spring, which will see the highest number of apprehensions in over a decade. That's why here in El Paso, migrants were being kept in the outdoor facility for a day or two before most were released, in what officials said was a temporary measure until a $192 million processing facility is built.
By no means that's a sanitary condition to keep children.
Some activists, like Fernando Garcia, said the influx was no excuse for keeping the migrants in what looked like a concentration camp.
It is very appalling, the fact that they are using those images to present a situation of a crisis.
Those who are just 3 or 4 blocks from here, detained under the international bridge.
Yesterday, Democrat Beto O'Rourke launched his presidential campaign from his hometown. Well, within booing distance, dozens of Donald Trump supporters held their own rally. Many here had little sympathy for the migrants held under the bridge.
That's their fault. They came here to try and find something, right? But they're risking their lives and they're risking their children's lives.
Our services are drained.
The executive director of El Paso's Republican Party acknowledges what was happening in his city was the symbol of a broken immigration system. But he says, don't blame President Trump.
You have so many people in our government, the Democrat Party, that is telling them, oh yes, we're going to take care of you. Yes, we're going to keep providing for you. You get all these goodies. Just come on over and we're going to keep protecting you. We have to tell them no.
Then today, with no notice, the outdoor holding facility was abruptly shut down, the crisis seemingly over as suddenly as it appeared. Border Patrol say the migrants were moved to other facilities. The only remaining sign of their presence, a few mylar blankets they slept on, flapping on the razor wire like shiny flags. Brunhuber, CBC News, El Paso, Texas.